Tomorrow begins another 3-day period of no movement for the general public as government works to stop the rising transmission of COVID-19 among the population. Your cooperation is needed. If you are not among the list of essential service providers, stay home tomorrow, Monday and Tuesday. It's to guarantee your health and that of your family, neighbors and friends, as well as the safety of our frontline workers. If you're allowed and must go out, remember to mask up, maintain physical distance from others, and wash or sanitize your hands regularly. It's another Saturday and another informative journey we have planned for you inside Jamaica Magazine. I'm your host, Theodore Henry. Please stick around. There's much to see and experience after the break.
The following is brought to you by the Office of the Prime Minister.
Our children have been out of school for a year and a half. The impact on their education is significant and it will be long-lasting. As a responsible government, we cannot place the education of your children, our children, at risk. There is a ray of hope, and that hope comes in the form of the vaccine.
The proceeding was brought to you by the Office of the Prime Minister.
Government is on a mission to advance the renewal and build-out of the island's public health facilities to meet modern healthcare standards and best practices. The Bustamante Hospital for Children is among several facilities benefiting under a 10-year strategic development plan. Let's take a look at what's in store for this hospital.
The health of our children forms the foundation for their future well-being and that of the nation. So the Jamaican government is prioritizing both the preventative and curative approaches to pediatric and adolescent health care.
Which is why we address issues around sugary drink in schools, the physical activity program in schools.
To improve and expand curative services, billions of dollars are earmarked for a 10-year strategic plan for the renewal and rebuilding of public health.
We're looking at about 27.2 to 31.2 billion Jamaican dollars to build out our new public health infrastructure over the next 5 years.
The Bustamante Hospital for Children is the only specialist facility of its kind in the English-speaking Caribbean. Located on Arthur Wint Drive in Kingston, this hospital delivers diagnostic, curative, preventative, rehabilitative, and ambulatory services for patients from birth to 12 years old. The hospital has already been benefiting from service and infrastructure upgrades over the years, but in July 2021, a new master plan was unveiled to further its modernization.
The upgrades include the addition of pediatric cardiac ward, a parent overnight suite, medical ward, and we will also be adding diagnostic services block, the operating theater suite, accident and emergency building, and a specialist outpatient block. These developments are in keeping with our 10-year strategic plan for health and a recognition of the importance of addressing the needs of the full spectrum of age cohorts within the society.
Over the next 2 years, the National Housing Trust, National Health Fund, and the Southeast Regional Health Authority will partner to construct a 5-story building to house the hospital's new parents' overnight suite and wards.
While it is our mandate to deliver houses to our contributors, we are also committed to community development by improving important infrastructure that will contribute to the well-being of our contributors as well as the wider Jamaican society.
$120 million will be spent on Phase 1 of the project, which includes construction of the overnight suite. This will provide a space for parents to be close to their children receiving medical care. The 3 upper-level wards will be completed in Phase 2. Children attending the hospital will get to experience an environment that is aesthetically pleasing and therapeutic in nature.
The project was designed to enhance customer experience through the use of artwork and modernistic architectural concept. And from my part, I'm going to put on the makeup, which is the greenery surrounding it. I personally think we're also going to add some birds and animals to create home away from home kind of a look.
The hospital's development will also be enhanced by planning improvements to the roadway along Arthur Wint Drive. This will be widened to create 4 lanes with proper signalization and a possible overhead bridge with direct entry into the hospital. In the meantime, progress is taking shape as a new pharmacy was opened at the hospital in June 2021. It was constructed at a cost of $70 million, courtesy of the National Health Fund. This new state-of-the-art pharmacy offers a spacious environment to serve its approximately 8,000 clients monthly. It is equipped with increased dispensing windows and a sterile room to protect the integrity of the prescription drugs. So with all this, staff, parents, and their children in a near future will be able to enjoy healthcare delivery and healing in a more convenient, safe, and caring environment.
Getting the first dose is not an excuse not to wear the mask, not to social distance or physical distance, not to sanitize. Getting the first dose is not justification for deciding that you're going to resume the parties, the gatherings beyond the limits that have been established. The journey is to observe the protocols, take the second dose when it is time, and then we will resume some semblance of normalcy once we achieve herd immunity.
Taking responsibility for one's own health and well-being is important. One of the ways to do that is eating healthy. So, how and what should we be eating? This next feature will provide the answers as we learn about the essential nutrients for good health and the foods that contain them.
Eating healthy by having a balanced diet consisting of items from all the food groups and consuming the right portions is important to get the nutrients vital for disease prevention, growth, and good health. Essential nutrients are building blocks for the cells that make up the body, from bone to muscle, skin, and hair. One of the most critical ones is protein, which is made up of different amino acids, some of which the body can make on its own. We need a variety of proteins to function properly, many of which can only come from the foods we eat. Meats, fish, and eggs are essential sources from animals, while plant sources include beans, nuts, and some grains. How much protein you need daily depends on a variety of factors, including how active you are and your age. Carbohydrates are the main nutrients for fueling the body's energy needs, especially our central nervous system and brain. They help protect against diseases, but some carbohydrates are healthier than others. Some healthy sources include your fresh produce, such as yam, banana, breadfruit, and tubers, as well as whole grains, fiber-rich vegetables, and fruits. Less healthy sources include refined grains and products with added sugar. Fats often get a bad rap, but it's important to know that healthy fats are essential to our body's function. Fats aid in vitamin and mineral absorption, blood clotting, building cells, and muscle movement. Fats are high in calories, which is a measure of energy from foods, but the World Health Organization recommends keeping daily calorie intake from fat at under 30%. Including healthy fats, which are the unsaturated fats in your diet, can help balance blood sugar, decrease the risk of heart disease and type 2 diabetes, and improve brain function. Healthy fats are also powerful anti-inflammatories and can lower the risk for arthritis, cancer, and Alzheimer's disease. Some of the well-known unsaturated fats are the omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids. Sources of these healthy fats include fish, seeds, nuts, and vegetable oils, olive, avocado, and flax seeds. Trans fats are to be avoided, and we should also limit our intake of saturated fats, of which the main sources are animal-based and include butter, cheese, red meat, and ice cream. Vitamins are organic compounds essential for normal growth and are required in small quantities. There are 13 essential vitamins that the body needs, and these help lower the risk of diseases such as lung and prostate cancer. Vitamin A supports healthy vision, skin, and bones. Powerful antioxidants like vitamin C boost the immune system and helps the body heal. Eating a varied and well-balanced diet of fruits and vegetables should supply the body with the required vitamins. Minerals are also important nutrients needed for building strong bones and teeth. They help with regulating our body's metabolism and keeping us properly hydrated. The mineral calcium strengthens bones and teeth and helps with nerve signal transmission. It also helps to maintain healthy blood pressure and with muscle contraction and relaxation. Iron supports red blood cells and hormone creation, while the mineral zinc boosts the immune system and wound healing. The body also needs water, which improves brain function and mood, and acts as a shock absorber and lubricant in the body. Water also flushes our toxins, carries nutrients to cells, hydrates the body, and prevents constipation. Even mild dehydration can make us feel tired and impair concentration and physical performance. In addition to drinking water, we can hydrate ourselves by eating fruits and vegetables such as spinach and watermelon. Start treating your body right. As you grab your next meal, make sure you're getting all the nutrients needed in their right proportion.
The following is brought to you by the Office of the Prime Minister.
I'm saying to every single Jamaican, you will decide how this pandemic ends. If you wear your mask, if you maintain the physical distance, and if you decide to take the vaccines when it is your time, the pandemic will end. But if in frustration or just ignorance, we do not take responsibility, then the pandemic could end badly, including the loss of more lives.
The proceeding was brought to you by the Office of the Prime Minister.
Despite the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, the efforts to drive economic growth are ongoing, and the Jamaica Productivity Center is playing its part. The center has hosted virtual workshops to examine the factors affecting productivity and solutions for growth. Here now is a look at some of the challenges and the possibilities for productivity growth.
The Ministry of Labour and Social Security, through the Jamaica Productivity Centre, JPC, has been developing and implementing programs as well as conducting workshops to assist individuals, companies and firms optimize their efficiency and drive productivity improvement in Jamaica. The JPC recently hosted a virtual session that brought accomplished individuals and high achievers in one setting to share needed information on how productivity can be achieved and its impact on society. Productivity, in simple terms, is how efficient an input is converted to output. When this happens, economic growth and the country's development is fueled because of the increased goods and services produced with greater efficiency. Businesses will realize higher profit as they produce more outputs from lower input due to the systems they implement. Their competitiveness will improve and they will be able to better compensate employees. Citizens will realize improvements in their standard of living and will be able to exercise higher levels of consumption of goods and services even with reduced working hours. Higher economic growth measured by increased gross domestic product (GDP) output resulting from an increase in productivity will also benefit the country. How? Through the generation of larger tax revenue for government. This allows for greater investments in infrastructure and services, including education, healthcare, welfare, transportation, roads, water, and more. Gross domestic product (GDP) is the sum of labor productivity, capital intensity growth, and total factor productivity. Therefore, increases in all three areas equate to us having a booming economy. JPC has found that there are several factors that hamper productivity that need to be treated with urgency. They include bureaucracy, low value-added production, crime, traffic congestion, lack of suitable technology and capital investment, as well as job and skill mismatch and limiting international trade flows. As it relates to labor productivity, the JPC recommends that companies and firms, public or private, small or large, research what is happening in their industry and make innovative changes on a consistent basis. Where enterprises are shifting from being more labor-intensive to technology, such as artificial intelligence, they must seek to create the right balance between human effort and technology to optimize productivity. Integrating the right technology and a smart business process that is measurable, result-based and time-based is now an essential part of the solution for firms to optimize productivity. This includes establishing customer service platforms and payment gateways that are responsive. Every worker needs to know what is required of them, with the worker and supervisor using verifiable established targets.
You cannot improve if you're not measuring. You won't know what to do, and we'll just be all based on a gut feeling. And so that's one of the things we want to encourage us, even as individuals, organizations, to have that culture or habit of measuring and measuring what matters. Right? And not just measuring everything, but measuring what matters and working to improve on those gaps that exist.
The Labour and Social Security Ministry, through the Jamaica Productivity Centre, has started its very own modernization exercise through the institution of a digital records management system, moving a number of its services online as it upgrades its network and investing in new technologies to improve efficiency. Investing in research and development and facilitating the creative, scientific and technological expertise of Jamaicans will spur innovation and the creation of new products and services to transform industries to meet the demands of the fourth industrial revolution.
For example, we have agriculture. Agriculture could be transformed to an high-level agricultural sector. And I'm thinking also with that, there can also be greater linkages between the goods producing and service producing sector.
Enhancing productivity, quality and competitiveness through world-class individuals will require a culture of continuous training.
We have to learn how to accept or create structures that allow innovation, allow change, to build a culture of continuous learning and improvement. Let us start with access to broadband. Broadband can give us that quantum leap forward in Jamaica, tied with a digital literacy program for people of all ages, tied with schools that focus on continuous learning and continuous improvement.
We need higher education and more focused training programs, upskilling the global services industry. So that's basically like the BPO.
There's the possibility for individuals to use the internet and free education available online to advance productivity and for maximizing on remote working in this increasingly digital world.
Working on your own individual digital literacy, being familiar with the tools that are out there, not just for consumption, but what the possibilities are. And there's so many resources online that you can find to do that. Coursera, Udemy, and these are their platforms in their own right. Another one too that's really good, because I find that the things on Coursera and Udemy tend to maybe work best if you've already completed high school and university. If you need to bring your math skills up to date, you can use a resource like Khan Academy.
Increased education and training, certification, quality management and leadership, rewards and incentives, innovation, having the right technology, automation and tools, and using those to full capacity are all key tenets of long-term productivity. Of course, all this doesn't necessarily mean working harder. Instead, it's all about working smarter.
Is your facility approved for COVID-19 testing? The Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce, through the JANAC Accreditation or Pre-Accreditation Approval Program, validates labs and point-of-care testing facilities such as medical centers. Accreditation safeguards the quality of test results and consumer well-being. Use a JANAC accredited or PAP approved facility for your tests, and let's defeat COVID-19 together. Contact the Jamaica National Agency for Accreditation, confirming competence, providing confidence in the marketplace.
Recently, Minister Favour Williams outlined initiatives being pursued to support youth development. Keep watching this next feature to learn more about what some of these are.
is no secret that the future of our world belongs to the youth of our society. So it is in the best interest of all governments across the world to make provisions that will safeguard and meet the growing needs of the young. In this feature, Education Minister Favour Williams will be shedding light on some of the critical initiatives to come in this sector. Standing on the floor of the House of Representatives recently, the minister tasked with overseeing Jamaica's education system outlined a range of plans and activities to improve conditions for children and young people this year. They include a host of virtual and face-to-face activities to celebrate Youth Month in November.
Committees are now being formulated. Youth Month Planning and Advisory Committee and the Selection Committee for the Prime Minister's Youth Awards for Excellence. Additionally, packages for sponsorship for the numerous events are being dispatched to prospective sponsors, and the procurement of the required goods and services have begun.
The nomination process for the Prime Minister's National Youth Award for Excellence, which is normally held in Youth Month, will be opened earlier.
This signifies a more intense and robust approach to strengthening the sensitization around the Prime Minister's National Youth Award for Excellence. Additionally, a greater emphasis on the promotion of underrepresented nomination categories, such as environmental protection.
But before Youth Month 2021 arrives, government will be launching 211 as a singular helpline for children at risk or for anyone who wishes to report child abuse. This will be done on September 6.
This helpline will be manned 24 hours by child care professionals and will be a significant addition to the child protection ecosystem. We will be running a national campaign to inform Jamaicans of this new helpline, as we will transition it to be the main helpline for reporting child abuse in Jamaica.
Also in the ministry's pipeline is a national mentorship program that will provide young people with the guidance and support of experts in their desired fields.
These young persons will be chosen from the grassroots or communities and would have shown good attitudes and will go through a program facilitated by the staff of the ministry and partners that will aid in their character development, technical skills, and requisite soft skills that are needed for their success.
In an effort to end the age-old practice of corporal punishment, a positive or good parenting campaign will be launched. The campaign seeks to empower Jamaican parents to raise happy, healthy, and smart children.
The ministry will also be embarking on a corporal punishment campaign where parents will be encouraged to try positive discipline strategies. Both campaigns will run for a total of 4 years in separate phases. The ministry is preparing to go to tender to engage a public relations company to lead this activity.
Cabinet is now in receipt of a study on children living and working on the street, while the Child Protection and Family Services Agency, CPFSA, is in the process of establishing a task force to deal with the issue of street children.
Cabinet's approval was secured for the circulation of the final document, as well as for the establishment of a multi-sectoral body to review and finalize a street and working children framework of action and oversee the implementation of said framework of action.
The Education Ministry is currently reviewing the Child Care and Protection Act to examine gaps and make legislative amendments where necessary.
The process is advanced as a draft cabinet submission has been developed to seek approval for the recommendations that were made in the report in the Joint Select Committee of the Houses of Parliament.
The Adoption Act of 1958 is also being reviewed to address legislative gaps and ambiguities. In a landmark move, the Maxfield Park Children's Home will soon be transformed into a center of excellence that is fully funded and managed by government.
The facility would also be technologically equipped to provide the best living and learning environment for our children. A task force is being established to guide the renovation of the facility.
The Child Protection and Family Services Agency has meanwhile developed a policy to accelerate family-type placement of children entering state care who are 3 years or younger.
This will ensure that children 0 to 3 years old who have entered state care are placed in an approved placement under a foster care arrangement until their case is resolved either by family reintegration, kingship care, or by some other appropriate permanent placement such as adoption.
A curriculum has been developed to educate parents on how to treat with sexual harassment.
One of the units of the curriculum features sexual harassment and will be implemented in 5 parishes: Westmoreland, St. James, Kingston and St. Andrew, St. Thomas and Clarendon. Facilitators will be trained across several agencies to deliver the curriculum to parents in these 5 communities.
A module on sexual harassment has also been incorporated in the National Parenting Support Commission's training program for parent mentors.
The content on the new sexual harassment framework will be embedded in existing parenting education sessions that will target 40,000 parents over the next 7 months. The Health and Family Life curriculum has a module on sexual harassment, and this is being updated in alignment with the new sexual harassment bill and will include a study of the bill and other legislation on this matter. This will be delivered, Madam Speaker, at the primary and secondary levels of the education system with designated teachers who have been trained to do so in age-appropriate ways.
Other initiatives are unfolding to put an end to sexual harassment and gender-based violence in the education sector.
Under the Spotlight Initiative, in partnership with United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, and United Nations Population Fund, UNFPA, NGOs have been contracted to develop a training program in gender-based violence for the ministry, for the officers, for the teachers, for guidance counselors, and the deans of discipline to build their capacity to treat with this matter at the school level and to act as trainer of trainers to build the capacity of other local stakeholders.
The writing is on the chalkboard. The Ministry of Education, Youth and Information is on the path to creating a safer and brighter future for our leaders of tomorrow.
Yo, this is We're committed to reducing the impact of disasters occurring in Jamaica. We're ever ready to assist you before, during and after a disaster. But everybody have a role to play, so make we work together and follow the plan. Whether rich or poor or where you come from, hurricanes affect everyone, so be prepared. Prevention is better than cure. Be prepared. Listen to ADPEM.
A message from the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management.
This is where our journey through the pages of Jamaica Magazine ends for today. We value your company, so be sure to join us again tomorrow for another show. Until then, continue to watch these and other programs by logging on to our website, which you can find at jis.gov.jm, or by subscribing to our YouTube channel. You can also find us on all the major social media platforms and through our mobile app that's both Android and iOS compatible. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Theodore Henry, reminding you to follow the COVID-19 protocols, get vaccinated, and be safe.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.